Hey everybody, happy Saturday to you. It is 150 bazillion degrees in Florida today. It's the kind of hot that you do not even want to leave the house. I'm sure there are other parts of the country that are really experiencing the same level of heat. So we've spent as much time inside today as humanly possible. I'm still kind of healing from my illness, but I'm feeling a little bit better today. So slow and steady wins the race. I should be back to 100% by next week for KetoCon. I've also been doing a lot of arrangements for that. I'm getting so excited. I know that I'm going to get to meet so many of you, and I don't know, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm all of those things. It's really nice to feel that way though. Like to kind of get out of the day-to-day routine is going to be really awesome. And Dan's on vacation for like the whole week after. So it's just, we're stoked. Can I say that enough that we're excited? 'Cause we are. So tonight's dinner, really easy. It's going to be really familiar flavors and things that you've seen us do here before. We're doing a fathead pizza. Family size, which means I double the recipe for fathead dough from the diet doctor, and this is going to be a Philly cheesesteak edition fathead pizza. We've done the Philly cheesesteak in a bowl for you guys before. You've seen it probably several times because it's one of our favorite dishes to make, but today we're gonna take all of those components and put it on top of fathead pizza. I cannot wait to eat dinner. There's a wasp outside of my window and he just totally made me lose my train of thought. So dinner's actually not for a couple of hours, but there's one step that I like to do a couple of hours before we eat dinner, and that's make the horseradish sauce that goes on top of it. The creamy horseradish sauce that I make is amazing on steak. It's awesome on Philly cheesesteak. There's a lot of different things that you can use it for, and it's also really easy. This isn't a recipe, you guys. This is just throwing two ingredients together that make a really awesome sauce. So mayonnaise, cream style horseradish. You can get this at Aldi sometimes, but I've also always found it at other grocery stores in the deli section. They also sometimes have cream horseradish where the pickles and that sort of thing are. So the ratio is gonna depend on how strong you like your horsey sauce. I usually do a cup of mayonnaise and 2 tablespoons, give or take, of the horseradish, and then I taste it and see how it tastes to me. Goes into the fridge for a couple of hours, and then it's ready for dinner later. I'll show you. Okay, so about a cup of mayonnaise. And then cream horseradish to your liking. We like it on the strong side, so 2 tablespoons is usually about perfect for us. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this up, and once it's all incorporated together and mixed really well, I'll give it a taste to see if it needs any more horseradish. Throw the lid on, give it a couple hours in the fridge. That's it. That's step number 1. Who you got? Show them.
Much banana.
Yeah? Can you show them who you have? Is that Bob?
Bob. Yeah.
He's hot on the Minions right now, as you can see, refusing to wear anything but Minions clothes or play with anything but Minions toys. So it's pretty cute. This is going into the fridge for a couple hours, and after that, I will come check back in with you guys and show you how to make the Philly cheesesteak fathead pizza. Hi, Bob.
Is he?
There it is. I finally hit the button.
It's Daniel. I am chopping up some yellow onion and some red and yellow bell pepper, and I'm basically gonna put these off to the side, but they're gonna be all chopped and cleaned and ready to cook when I am ready for them, and that will save me a little bit of time. Fathead dough is a little tricky and it's a little time consuming. So when you're doing something like a specialty pizza like this where it does have a lot of components. Oh, yeah. It's Marvel Pops.
All right.
Lincoln got a haircut today. He got a fade and he looks like a different person.
You want to show everyone your new haircut?
So basically I'm chopping up peppers and onions so that way when I'm ready to start assembling all of the components for the pizza, we're ready to go.
You gonna say hi?
I guess. Look at Lincoln's haircut. Hey, buddy.
You got that cool dude haircut.
Yeah, I'm chopping up veggies.
Look, everybody.
Hey Lincoln, can you
Captain America thing.
Hey Lincoln, can you say subscribe?
Subscribe.
Yeah,
It's the best.
it's awesome.
Okay, you guys were saying that you were missing the kids, so I'm glad we got to show you them today. It's been a minute. So, for the 900th time, I'm chopping up peppers and onions. I'm gonna put them off to the side. Anything that you can do to kind of prep ahead of time for cooking a specialty pizza is gonna be handy. Okay? Okay. They're now all chopped. I'm gonna throw some saran wrap on them and get them into the refrigerator. Now when I'm ready to start cooking all of the components, they're just ready to go. It's gonna save me a few minutes in the long run. And God, our peppers, could they be any prettier? It's dinner time. I'm getting starving. Let's get started on the fathead dough. I'm gonna use the same recipe that we always use. It comes from thedietdoctor.com. I'll be sure to link it down below. We go ahead and double this recipe. So this is the doubled version of the original recipe that you will see down below. Okay, so let me show you what you're gonna need for fathead dough and we'll get it going. So into a big mixing bowl, I have about 12 ounces of shredded mozzarella and about 4, give or take, tablespoons of softened cream cheese. This is gonna go into the microwave for about a minute, just until it's melted enough to be able to cream it all together, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. If you're doing a single batch, it'll probably take under a minute, but if you're doing the larger batch, it's usually a little over a minute. You can see that I actually added a little bit of shredded Colby Jack to this one as well because I didn't have quite as much mozzarella as I would have liked. Fathead dough is pretty forgiving when it comes to the cheeses. As long as mozzarella is the majority of the cheese that you're using, you can always go ahead and add other cheeses in with it as well to change the flavor. So you mix this all together as best you can. If you feel like it's not incorporating well, go ahead and put it into the microwave for another few seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've got this all incorporated. Now I'm going to add 3 cups of almond flour.
Taper, stir on your head. Taper, go to bed. Taper, turn on the light. Taper, good night.
Lincoln, yay! I had to stop for a second because Lincoln just read me the cutest bedtime story ever. So I hope that I didn't do some damage to my dough, but even if I did, his story was worth it. I'll throw a clip in. Okay, so 3 cups of almond flour, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vinegar, and then we mix it all together until it forms a dough. This part is, you have to be a little aggressive. It really does take some elbow grease to get this to mix together, but be patient and it really will come together and form a very usable pizza dough. I made Dan take over because I'm fragile. Okay, it's all mixed together. Now, this is a bit of a pro tip from many months of trial and error. When it gets to this stage, go ahead and put it in the refrigerator for 10 to 15 minutes. Fathead dough is so much easier to work with when it's cold. All right, I've got this pan on medium-high heat, and now I'm gonna go ahead and cook my onions and then my peppers. I like to cook them separately because onions don't caramelize well when you have the pan too crowded. So cook the onions and peppers. You can also preheat your oven to 400 now. Okay, onions are done, so now I'm gonna put them off to the side and we're gonna do the same thing to the peppers. All right, peppers are done. Now they're gonna go hang out with the cooked onions. Okay, we've got our fathead dough all rolled out, and like I said, this is a double batch, so it basically takes up the entire back of a giant cookie sheet. Dan's poking the holes. Fathead dough is gonna bake twice, okay? So this is gonna go in 400 for about 15 minutes, come out, get covered with toppings, then it'll go back in for another 15 minutes. So while it's on its first round cooking, I'm gonna cook up the beef. Peppers and onions are already cooked. We are moving right along. Yes, it's labor intensive.
I'm poking holes.
Yes, it's worth it. Right? It's worth it?
It's worth it. Sorry.
Okay, this is the beef that we get whenever we do our Philly in a bowl. We get this at Aldi. I've also seen it at Walmart. If for some reason you can't find shaved beef at your local grocery store, you could always use a really high quality lunch meat from the deli. Just get a super high quality roast beef and cook that. Or you could use ground beef or other steak or whatever you have on hand. But this stuff's amazing. We love it. Dough came out of the oven, nice and brown. We are going to add just a few tablespoons of this G. Hughes sugar-free steak sauce. This is really delicious. No, it does not taste like A1, but it's still a really delicious, like tangy steak sauce. We really like it. We keep telling our friends at Alterna Sweets that they need to make a steak sauce because I can guarantee we would like that better.
Because we always like their stuff better.
So we're just gonna dollop some of this on and come back because this is a minute. All right, so steak sauce rubbed into the crust. It looks like more than it is. It really was probably about 3 tablespoons total, and I just rubbed it in really well with the pastry brush. Next, I am going to go in with my shaved beef and evenly distribute it all over the crust. Then the pepper and onion mixture goes all over. Okay, I shredded about a block of Colby Jack, and that gets topped. I kind of eyeball cheese. I'm not going to tell you an exact amount. You just know when it looks right.
Can't go too thin.
Yeah, like not too thin, but I still like to be able to see the veggies and the meat through. We'll see how far this goes.
Pizza.
It just occurred to us that this is probably more of a flatbread vibe, but I'm into it. This is gonna go into a 400-degree oven for about another 10 to 15 minutes. You just want the cheese to be melted and bubbly, and then it's ready to eat.
Bubbly cheese.
Bubbly. This is what it looks like after about 12 minutes back in the oven, and the house smells so good I cannot contain myself. Look at this thing. The work is gonna be worth it. Okay, our plates are ready. Dan's trying to eat it off the plate as we speak. It looks freaking delicious. I'm super proud of how beautiful it is. I love pretty food. I know you're wanting to yell at me that it was labor intensive, but
It's worth it.
yeah. Like, can you imagine if you rolled up on a restaurant and this was on the menu and it was keto? I'm excited about it. Take a bite?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna eat on camera because I'm still a mouth breather. I'm still sick right now.
But I will.
I know it's so good. This is such a reliable fathead dough recipe. Look how sturdy it is. Like, it's such a sturdy pizza. So we're gonna go eat dinner and watch SVU, I think, and that's it.
And then sleep.
Yeah. We love you guys. We hope you're having a really awesome weekend. Thank you for being here with us. If you are new here, it's super nice to meet you. Have a good night.